Hello everyone, happy Friday, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm glad you found me. I hope you stick around a while because we have fun here. Last week I was exploring the new granulating set of the Kuretake watercolors and we swatched them and then we painted something and then doodled over it. And for the most part, you guys were very excited. And there are the odd couple people that don't get what the hype is with these colors. And all I can say to that, that's totally fine. You don't have to buy into every new thing that comes out. That is totally up to you. I'm just here to explore something new and to show you what can be done with it. I promised you that I would go through each color separately and explore what it will do by itself. And then we can turn it into a piece of art after. Last week I combined all 5 colors together and I really enjoyed how this turned out. Today I think we're just gonna go by color, so we're gonna start with the cosmic red, which is not really a red. As you can see, it is more of a magenta and orange or yellow. I'm gonna be working on the Hanemule cold pressed watercolor paper. I cut it into a 9x6 size. The reason why I do that is because it's easier for me to finish something in a reasonable amount of time. So I have not quite figured out what I want to do with it when the color is on and dried. So I'm gonna be spontaneous and see what I can come up with. The main idea is to just get some color down and watch it do its thing. I have not prepped it yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and put some water in the pan here. And we're just gonna let that activate. And then I'm going to take my little dish that I used for the swatching that still has some of that color in it. And then the next thing is I'm gonna prep the paper. Did I say that I was going to use the backside? The backside of this paper is a little bit more textured. It has a little bit more grain to it, so I'm gonna be using the backside. I'm gonna go ahead and wet the backside of the paper with water. The reason why I like doing that is because first of all, it dries a little bit flatter. We all know that if you work with watercolors, your paper tends to curl up on you. So that way, once I start working on the front, it will curl back and lay flat for me. So that's pretty good. And now we're gonna spray the front. And this one has now started to separate and that orange is coming through very nicely. So I think I'm just going to grab some of that color. I have my dish with the leftover color in here. I am going to grab the color with my brush and just put it in the dish here. If you have not watched my last week's video, what I was telling you is that you don't need a lot of pigment with these colors. because they're very concentrated. So we're just going to start with a little bit. And right now it's I want to call this maybe a cherry red, but as the color starts to separate in the water, you're going to see how those other colors are going to come through. So let's see. Maybe I'll just pour some on and see what happens. I'm gonna end up using all of it anyway. So at the moment, I can see the orange come through. Let me zoom you in a little bit. I think I want to connect it here. It's a lot of white on my page still. I think we can add a little bit more pigment. I have quite a bit of water on my paper, so let me pour some back in my dish. The birds are going crazy out there this morning. I hope you can hear that. So I poured some of the color off, and now I still have quite a bit of water on my paper, and I'm just gonna let the paint, the pigments that are still on my paper dry as I move it around, and that will give me a nice gradient of all of those colors. And if I feel like I need to, I will add a little bit more pigment on my paper. Like for example, over here it's quite light, so maybe we'll add a little bit more pigment over here. And then I'll bring the water back and grab that color so I can start moving around. And I don't know if the camera picks this up, but over here I still have red, and then down here it's magenta, and then I have the yellow orange on the sides where it starts to dry. So we're dancing with the color a little bit. I am manipulating it, but only to the point where I want to make sure that I have enough color everywhere to make it interesting enough for me to work on it after everything is dry. And with the last set, the Aurora colors, I only added gold after everything was dry, because I feel like there's already a lot going on with the colors in this one pan that I don't need to add any more distractions by adding gold to it. It looks like these colors don't dry very light. I feel like once they're dry they look pretty saturated. I want to be careful not to add too much pigment onto my paper because I don't want to end up losing all those different shades that it comes with. At one point, I will stop moving it when I feel like most of the water has evaporated, and then I will let it dry naturally. I tend to just let it dry on its own. I don't like to use a hairdryer. I just feel like if it dries on its own, the paper can flatten out a little bit easier, and the colors to me seem different when I let it dry naturally than when I take the hairdryer to it. Right now it's still moving, and I have some really nice light red up here with some orange, and then I have magenta over where it's a little bit more saturated. As long as the color is still moving, as long as I still have water on my paper, I'm gonna just keep moving it. So I will be doing that, and then I will be back once I am ready to lay it flat to dry. Okay, we're at a point where I can let it sit and dry on its own now. I have been ever so slightly moving it. I also extended the corners a little bit because you couldn't really see that yellow the way it was drying, so I just added some more water and a little bit more of the color around the edges just to hopefully get a little bit more of that yellow orange out. But as it is now, it looks like where it's the most saturated, we will end up with a nice magenta, like pinkish kind of color, just like we did on our swatch. And because this is better paper than this one was, it is not buckling as much, and also that then gives us a much smoother application. So I'm gonna let this dry on its own now, and then I will be back and we can examine how it dried, and then we can embellish it. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's all dry, and hopefully the camera can pick up all the different nuances. We have some orange, we have a little bit of yellow. I wish there was more, but because the paper stayed fairly even when I was working with it, we're not getting these different variations. So the next part I'm going to do is I will splatter some more of the color on top just to get a little bit more interest, and then I will add some gold, let it dry, and then we can start decorating it with doodles. So let's do that. Okay, so I just put some of the gold on and I'm gonna let this dry as well. But before I continue with this, I would just want to show you real quick. I used regular Canson paper, which is the cheap paper, watercolor paper. It's still 140 pounds, but it's not cotton paper. And I just wanted to show you the difference in how these colors react. There is so much more movement after the colors have dried, and more color variations on this paper than on the more expensive Hanemühle. Do you see that? So I really think that you should play around with your paper and, you know, choose the paper according to what kind of effect you would like to achieve. Because if I'm being honest, I like this one better, the cheaper paper. It's much more dynamic than this one. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this and let you know what my findings were. As you can see, I decided to bring back one of my older doodle styles for this background, especially for those of you who are new to my channel. You might not have watched my older videos yet, and if this is something that you enjoy, I encourage you to go back to last year's videos because I have a lot of them on my channel. It feels like it's been so long ago since I have done these, when in fact it's not really that long ago, but it was fun to bring them back. I'm not sure that I will continue to do it for this series. Maybe we'll try something different. Maybe we'll try to use these colors in a little bit more of a painterly fashion, just to see what other effects we can get out of them. I think there is a lot hidden in these colors that are fun to explore. But to be honest with you, I just have to go with what feels right in the moment, so I don't want to make any promises either way. For the remainder of this video, I am just gonna put some music over it and let you enjoy it this way. Please hit the like button if you liked this video. It helps push my videos out to other people that also are interested in this kind of content, and it helps my channel grow. And as always, everything I used is listed in the description box below this video for you to have a look at. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay creative wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next Friday with a new upload.